I'm Regulus 64, and I'm here to talk about the Nintendo Switch 2. I'm a little late to the party. I know it's been... How long has it been? 2 weeks since the Nintendo Direct? Everyone is weighing in on their own opinions about the price of the console, price of games, what's coming out for the console to play on launch, and coming after that. I'm also probably going to talk about the Mario Kart Direct because I'm pretty excited for the new Mario Kart. It looks good. Not gonna lie, I'm really excited for it. So normally I do a lot of gameplay on my YouTube channel, but I'm testing out recording with a better resolution camera. I got some lighting, and you know what? I just like sharing my opinion, rambling about stuff I like. So let's just dump it right into it. So, Nintendo Switch 2. The price, $450 for base, $500 for the Mario Kart bundle. Is it what we want? No, honestly, when me and my friends would be discussing the Switch 2, we were thinking it was going to be around that $400 price point. Now, 500, no. $50 more than that, I mean, it's not gonna hurt. It's not gonna hurt too bad. I will be pre-ordering or attempting to pre-order depending on how stock is on the thing. I'll be pre-ordering the Mario Kart bundle because you save money that way, and I'm gonna get Mario Kart anyway, so why not? But yeah, it's not the most attractive price. Normally you look at Nintendo as being the cheap, family-friendly option, and now the price is kind of up there with the competition, PlayStation and Xbox. And if I'm not mistaken, the Switch 2's price is going to be very similar to the PS5 digital only. So, at least with the Switch, you can play physical games for that price point. So, but don't quote me on that. I don't know. I got some notes here, and like the video, I'm going to be clicking through it. The specs about the Switch: bigger screen, 4K, 120 FPS. The dock has built-in fan for cooling now. 256 gigabytes. You all know that already. What do I care about it? Well, bigger screen's cool. 120 FPS docked is cool, including in handheld mode. I do have a TV that's 120, so I might, when that Metroid Prime 4 drops, I might be playing that in 1080p 120, not gonna lie. So the 3D audio, it has spatial audio, that's pretty cool. If you have like a spatial audio like setup. I live in an apartment, so no way I'm gonna be having some crazy audio setup because I got walls I share with people. Micro SD card is back, and it uses something called SD card Express that I'm a little unfamiliar with. I didn't know that there was two different speed types. Like the Express is a faster write speed, which makes sense because the Switch 2 is boasting a better internal storage. It reads and writes faster, so your upgradable storage is going to need to compete with that too. And I don't see Nintendo doing anything like being able to open and screw in like an M.2 or something like the PS5. The mouse controllers are really cool. I remember seeing it in the leaks. About as cool as I thought it was going to be. You know, it's not going to be that selling point for me at all. You know, I'm not buying it for the mouse controls. But that Drag and Drive game, using the controllers for that was kind of unique and funny. You know, I play Nintendo games for that kind of unique style that their games typically have, not the same kind of slop that keeps getting put out for maybe... I don't know, I wouldn't say Microsoft and Sony necessarily put out the same slop. It's more like, that's more like third-party developers and stuff like that, you know, but anyways, I'm excited for the mouse controls. for like first-person shooters. They showed like games you'd typically use a mouse for, like Civilization. Is really cool and unique. What I personally, and I think I've seen some other people say it would be really cool, is Kid Icarus Uprising, like a port or a new game in that series, but obviously we know Sakurai is busy with Kirby Air Riders. Something like that would be really cool because the Kid Icarus Uprising, for those who don't know, you'd hold your 3DS with your left hand, and then you'd be aiming with the stylus on the bottom screen the whole game. And this is kind of uncomfortable, so they even made like a little kickstand for you could play on your table. So imagine on the Switch, you have like maybe a desk in front of you or something, and you're playing Kid Icarus Uprising with that new mouse controller. Let's talk about the game chat. It's something that I think a lot of people have been asking for ever since the Switch did that weird mobile phone thing or whatever. I remember you had to like they wanted you to have a splitter or something, plug it into the Switch, then your phone and a headset or some stupid thing, I don't know. And people ended up just using Discord anyways. I think people are going to end up using Discord still. I think a lot of people have kind of moved over to that. And, you know, Microsoft and Sony, they have Discord integrated in their consoles. And, you know, I think some of us were actually kind of hoping Nintendo would do the same. Because we're already using that ecosystem, I guess. You know, Discord, like I have Discord on my phone, my Xbox, like it's everywhere, you know? The Switch would be cool to have that too. But the thing I thought was really cool about it was the camera you could set up. And it would like color key you out like a green screen and put you... So if you're playing with people online, you know, even though funny, like other people's footage runs at like 10 FPS or whatever... it's still cool to see like that face-to-face with it too, you know, if you want to play games with friends and stuff like that you haven't seen in a while. I guess you could kind of do that on Discord, but I don't know if Discord lets you do that green screen thing necessarily. And then moving towards more of the Switch camera, kind of away from the game chat, because there's nothing I really have to say about that. The games that support the camera, that's pretty interesting. Mario Party Jamboree supports where you can have your face as the portrait, and there's like also like moving mini games too. That's kind of cool. It kind of reminded me of the Kinect back in the day. Me and my brother had a Kinect playing. Oh, what is that? I forget what it's called, but there's that game where you're on the raft and you're like leaning and stuff like that. When I was younger, I thought it was much cooler, but now it's kind of lame. But anyways, it kind of reminded me of that, which is kind of neat. I probably won't be participating in games like with that. I think they showed Mario Kart. Yeah, I believe in the Mario Kart Direct, if I'm not mistaken. They show that you can have it above your racer and you throw a red shell at them and you can see the reaction and stuff like that. That actually reminds me of Mario Kart arcade game. I think it's called Mario Kart GP. You can see like a funny picture of someone, but this time it's actually like a moving picture. You know, it's their actual video feed, not just a picture. But still, I think that's kind of reminds me of that, where you could see the player's head drive past you and stuff like that. It's kind of funny. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I have really much to say else about the camera. I'm kind of interested to see what else they do with it. We've only seen very little, in my opinion. I don't honestly see Nintendo doing too much more with that. In this Direct, Nintendo showed off Game Share. And it's almost like the Switch 2's answer to DS Download Play and 3DS Download Play. Something that I wish the Switch had. Because I just wish I could, you know, just share a copy of Mario Kart with someone. We had our 2 different screens. I remember back in the day, getting 8 people on the DS Mario Kart Download Play. And they're bringing that back with game share. You can locally share a game with your friends. That's really neat that they're bringing that back. It's only a supported, like, there's a list of supported games for it. So not every game's gonna support it. Probably multiplayer games. Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour. It's an interactive manual that you have to pay for. And you get to play little mini games that shows off the kind of hardware you're buying. I think it's kind of ridiculous that they're making you pay for it. I'm immediately not gonna play it now because you have to pay for it, because I'm gonna be too busy playing Mario Kart, not gonna lie. I did watch the Nintendo Treehouse on it. It did look cool, but charging $10 I think is a little ridiculous when that should just be included, because it teaches you how the mouse controls work and that the Joy-Cons are magnetic and stuff like that. It almost seems a little ridiculous that it's not free and they make you pay to learn about your console you're buying. Dragon Drive, that a gimmicky game showing off that new mouse gimmick, and they do it in the most Nintendo way possible. Wheelchair basketball. What the heck? That game looks ridiculous. Looks a little plain, the characters looked kind of generic, the arena looked generic, but I don't know, it looks kind of fun. From people doing the playtest demos, I've heard mixed things. Some people think it's like just kind of a unique, quirky little thing. Some people are saying it's really fun. I've heard people saying it feels kind of janky. So I don't know if I'm going to be picking it up or not, but definitely going to keep an eye out on it. GameCube games, they're here. GameCube games are now part of the Nintendo Switch Online service. This is something me and my friends have been talking about forever, I feel like. A lot of people I know really like GameCube games, and the fact that they're being brought onto this console. It's a Switch 2 exclusive, unfortunately, but hey, it is what it is. It's really nice to have GameCube games on Nintendo Switch Online now, because there is a lot of people that never played these games that now can, or even just take them on the go. Being able to play all these games portably now is going to be super, super cool. The GameCube is a system I constantly bring out during parties and stuff like that, playing co-op games, and it's just a great time. I'm super excited for it, for sure. Another thing about Nintendo Switch Online, the Nintendo 64 app is going to be getting a rewind feature added for the Nintendo Switch 2 version. Similar to the NES and Super Nintendo, you can rewind. Well, you're going to be able to do that in the Nintendo 64 app, but that's going to be a Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive. I believe I saw that there's a bump up in resolution as well, so you're going to be able to play that in, I assume, the 4K resolution that the Switch 2 supports. Sakurai's not making new Smash Bros. He's making Kirby Air Riders, which is one of my all-time favorite GameCube games of all time. Me, my brother, my sister used to play that so much. The city trial mode was fun, but my most fond memories of it would be playing just the free run mode where you're just driving around and stuff like that. One thing I would hope to see, though, is more than one city trial map, though, for sure. I think that would be definitely a great opportunity. If it is just one map like the original, that is a huge miss in my opinion, but we won't know. I'll probably chime in on my opinion on that when we get a trailer. A new 3D Donkey Kong game. Just wow. The destructible terrain, just the graphics are beautiful. Donkey Kong's redesign is really charming. I love how he looks. I don't know, man, that game just looks cool. Just being able to grab rocks and throw them, and I saw you can use one as like a surfboard and push along. And there's like explosion rocks you can throw, and it's just big open world. Maybe more like open zones like Mario Odyssey, where you travel to certain zones and they're big and open, but that just looks like some dumb Nintendo fun, man. Just Donkey Kong just smashing stuff, man. That's just cool. I love it so much. Third-party games. There's a lot of new third-party support on this. I saw some sports games. The Switch had a absence of that. I don't really play games like that, but that's kind of cool. Cyberpunk's really cool. Final Fantasy VII Remake, that's cool. There's that new From Software game that's exclusive. So Nintendo's really coming out swinging with this console. I'm really impressed. A lot of people are kind of comparing the Switch 2 to the Wii U almost. Like, I saw once the price came out, they're like, this thing's gonna fail like the Wii U, just dead on arrival already. But we're already doing better than the Wii U with this third-party support, man. Like, the Wii U had none of that, so I don't know why people keep thinking this thing's gonna be dead on arrival like that. My overall thoughts about the Direct, I can't wait for the Switch 2, man. The prices of the console, it's not as desirable, not as attractive as we wanted it to be. I don't look at $450, even $500 as something I want to, let's go spend $500. No, it's, at $400, I'd be like, okay, yeah, good, they nailed it. But, I want to play that console, so I'm going to be getting it, of course. The games prices, man, I don't know. I'd be willing to spend $80 on Mario Kart. I love Mario Kart. It seems like not every game is gonna be that $80 price. I know Donkey Kong's gonna be $70, which seems like that's kind of like the market standard currently. But Nintendo's kind of, I don't know. It sounds like a load of crap. They're saying Mario Kart's a premium game, so we're gonna charge you a premium price. Donkey Kong looks pretty premium, but why are you only charging $70 for that? I don't know. I saw people were saying that Mario Kart, like, physical games were gonna be like $90 and digital was the $80. That's not true. That's completely like misleading information. Mario Kart's $80 across the board. Donkey Kong's $70 across the board, and that's for all the games currently announced. But yeah, I'm really pleased with the console. I like the hardware upgrade, and I'm really excited for this next generation. Let's kind of move to Mario Kart. I kind of left this towards the end because it had its kind of own direct. Didn't really have a lot of new information, but we have the most information on that game. Mario Kart. That is one of my favorite games franchises of all time. I've put a lot of hours into Mario Kart Wii, and I've put a lot of hours into Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I love Mario Kart. So seeing that this game is going open world was probably the most insane thing I could have ever seen them do. Mario Kart has been kind of in the same formula for a while. They haven't tried something really new since, I guess, Mario Kart 7 added the gliding and the water, underwater. And then before that was Mario Kart Double Dash, where, you had two people in a cart. But other than that, they haven't really explored a different style of Mario Kart, and I'm super excited for it. Some of the things I can think of is the rail grinding. That is just super cool. The jumping on the walls, that's really cool too. I love Mario 3D platformers, and they're adding 3D platforming things into one of my favorite racing games. So I'm just super excited at the shortcut potentials there. The new flying mechanic and the new water racing mechanic got changed up, it looks like. It looks like the gliding is now almost like a plane you're controlling, and you're actually on top of the water this time around instead of in it, which I love because I've honestly felt like every time you're underwater, it just felt like normal racing, but with a little more gravity's a little different. It wasn't too exciting. That's why I actually liked another kart racer, Sonic and All-Star Racing Transform. I love that motorboat race, like Hydro Thunder, popular old arcade racing game. I kind of always loved that feeling, and now that Mario Kart Worlds is doing that, I am super excited for that. being able to drive from track to track is a really interesting mechanic. I'm still kind of interested on how that's going to work. I heard you can still traditionally do 3 laps around most tracks, but it seems like in normal Grand Prix, you're now doing these kind of just driving to the next track, which is interesting. I've seen a couple of the track designs. I'm kind of trying to stay spoiler free. I kind of want to experience the tracks when I play the game. I saw Dino Jungle. Something people are saying is Peach Beach, even though it looks nothing like it. You know, and it could be because it looks like they're kind of just doing a complete redesign. Like the retro courses aren't just retro, they're reimaginings even, because Dino Jungle and Toad's Factory look, you know, it's the track, but it's, you know, it looks significantly different, and that's exciting. The open world mechanic is really interesting. I want to see a little more from that. I know you can do missions and unlock skins for your characters. That's kind of cool. So I'm really interested in that. At first, I wasn't like super big into it because it's like, alright, I kind of just want to race. I don't want to just drive around with no purpose, but they added a purpose to the open world. You kind of get to collect things. There'll be missions, and I'm assuming you get to unlock stuff. But just super excited for that game, man. I'm super excited for it. So, but I mean, other than that, you know, I feel like that's really my main opinion on it. I know I'll probably think of something later that I should have said or talked about, but honestly, if this came off like rambling, you know, this is kind of just what this little series I'm doing is. Just kind of, I have some notes about what I want to talk about, but I'm just here to ramble, you know. This isn't where you're going to be getting your facts or anything from. I'm just here to just talk about stuff I like or stuff I find interesting. So, well, I hope you all enjoy this kind of style of video. I'm planning on doing more of these, maybe talking about some, just making some videos talking about specific games. I am working on some other projects too. I feel like doing videos like this is really fun. I'm thinking about doing some like video essay style videos too, with a very similar setup like I'm doing right now, but with a lot of gameplay in between these segments too. So look forward to that. I am playing through some Wii games. I have my Wii U plugged up right next to me. I have a Wii game that I'm debating if that's going to be my first kind of video essay kind of game. But anyways, I'm just rambling. That's the point of this. I will see you guys in the next one. Later.